When's the last time you felt at home in your body? Not perfect, not summer ready, just at home. Well, today we're getting practical about how to reconnect with your body, find joy and pleasure in your own skin, and why that changes the way you show up in your marriage. If your marriage feels like a critic, if stress has you living from the neck up, this episode is for you. We will address 5 practice blocks. We're going to share some guided practices and some exercises. And a couple of those exercises you could actually implement tonight. Welcome back, Uplifting Life partners, to Simplified Uplifters Marriage Mastery Podcast, cultivating extraordinary connections. The podcast dedicated to giving you the tools to build, repair, and strengthen the foundation of your relationship. That way, you can have a stronger, more joyful, and resilient marriage. I'm your host, Ron Simplified Myers. Let's ignite possibilities together. Well, this is our Self-Love Wednesday episode, and today we're talking on the topic of how embracing your body and having self-love can create greater confidence and comfort in yourself, and then of course that will be carried inside of your marriage. So let's get right to it. Let's jump into the subject of body acceptance versus body joy. See, body positivity, it says, I love how I look. Well, in this instance, it's about celebrating your body's appearance. But for many people, this feels way out of reach, especially on those days when we don't even like who we see in the mirror. Now, body acceptance, it says, my body is my home. I may not love how it looks every day, but it still deserves care and respect. It shifts the focus from appearance to function and worthiness. And we definitely have to become more careful and gentle towards ourselves. Believe me, there's enough people that want to judge you, and a lot of them, you know they do, but you don't need to be one of them. So when we add a little body joy, like I can find pleasure, some play, and gratitude in my body right now, we're moving in the right direction. So bottom line, a great way to reframe this is, your body isn't a project to fix, it's a partner to listen to. So let's bring Simone into the conversation. She struggled with mirrors. She avoided them because she only saw flaws. So of course this made intimacy with Khalid feel like a performance instead of connection. She practiced this. She started with acceptance. I don't have to love everything I see, but I can choose kindness toward myself. For her, that meant something simple like lotioning her skin with care rather than just running straight out of the house. And then she added a little joy in there. She noticed the warmth of a shower, melting tension in her shoulders. She let herself dance to a favorite song while cooking dinner. Not for exercise, but for the fun of it. And of course, Khalid sitting back, he noticed the shift. See, when Simone treated her body with kindness, guess what? She naturally wanted closeness because she felt at home in herself again. So here's an acceptance practice. Instead of saying, I hate my thighs, reframe it with, these legs, they carry me through the day. They deserve rest. And then add in a joy practice. Learn to pause and notice the pleasure in everyday experiences. The stretching in the morning, the smell of food, the laughter that shakes your whole body. Let's try a couple of reflection questions. Number 1, when do you feel most at home in your body? Number 2, where does criticism show up the fastest? Is it in the mirror? Is it your clothing? Is it photos? Number 3, how would acceptance and kind look like if you practiced it for 1 week in your daily routine? Number 4, where could you invite joy? You could have one small practice like a walk, some music, or just savoring a meal. So this particular conversation, it actually leads us to the science of feeling, which is basically body awareness and safety. See, body awareness is your body's ability to sense internal signals like hunger, tension, a racing heart, calm after exhale. It's like your body's inner dashboard. See, when we live under stress or shame, this dashboard, it gets a little foggy. That causes you to miss early signals, and by the time you notice, you're snapping at your spouse, you're overeating, or you're collapsing in exhaustion. The good news? Gentle attention restores body awareness. Your body relearns safety through simple responses like slow breathing, warm touch, and predictable routines. Here's something that I need you to keep in mind. Your body speaks in whispers before it screams. Let's learn to hear the whispers. Now, see, Simone, she worked long days. She often skipped meals until she was irritable. Khalid come home and, of course, a tiny disagreement like just where to put the mail. It blow up into a huge fight. But here's what happened. One evening, instead of reacting, Simone tried something new. She paused. She placed her hand on her belly, and she noticed, I'm not angry. I'm hungry and tense. So she went and grabbed a quick snack, took 3 slow breaths before talking to Khalid. Now, of course, Khalid, he notices the difference. And instead of this thing escalating, Simone entered the conversation calmer. That tiny body awareness in the check-in, it changed the tone of their entire evening. So here's a great exercise to practice, and it takes about 2 minutes to complete. Number 1, you want to sit straight. Keep your feet grounded. Number 2, complete the breathing exercise, which we've talked about before, where you inhale for 4 counts, you hold for 4 counts, you exhale for 4 counts, and repeat that about 4 different times. Number 3, place a hand on your chest or your belly and whisper inwardly, body, what do you need right now? Number 4, notice the response. Maybe it's thirst, it's a tight jaw, an urge to stretch. And number 5, respond kindly. Take the sip of water. Unclench the jaw, roll the shoulders. This is how we rebuild safety, not by fixing everything at once, but by responding to one whisper at a time. So that takes us back to a couple more reflections. Where does your body scream before you've noticed the whispers? Is it tiredness? Is it hunger? Is it tension? And what's one daily activity where you can pause for 30 seconds to check in, like before dinner, at your desk, before bed? How might listening to your body shift the way you show up with your partner? Now that we've covered that and we're calmer, we can shift gears from shame to self-respect. Listening to Shane's voice, it says, I'm wrong, I'm broken. Something about me is unworthy. Self-respect steps in and says, I may be learning, but I'm worthy of care while I grow. See, the shift isn't about pretending you never feel insecure. It's about replacing the inner critics, its harsh conversations, and replace it with compassionate ones that honor your worth. And think of it like this. You're not silencing the critic. You're teaching it new ways to perceive things. Now, here's a couple of examples with the critic. The critic comes in and says, my stomach ruins everything. The way you could respond and reprogram it is by saying, this belly, it digests food, it holds laughter, and it deserves gentle support. The critic's going to jump in and says, I'm not attractive. You could respond back to it by saying, I'm practicing presence. Desire grows where safety lives. The critic, of course, is going to jump back and says, I always mess things up. Your response, I'm learning. Progress is proof that I'm still moving. See, these small shifts in language, they turn shame into self-respect. Simone, when I compare my body to others, I shrink. I feel like I'm less than. Khalid asked, well, what helps when you feel that way? Honestly, hugs from behind and tell me you enjoy being close. It helps me remember I'm more than my reflection. Got it. Tonight, I'll hold you first. No rush, just us. See, this shows how sharing shame out loud, it creates a pathway for intimacy instead of silence. Here's a quick practice. Number 1, where does my inner critic speak the loudest? Again, is it in the mirror? Is it intimacy? Is it the clothes? Is it work? Number 2, what compassionate response would I rather hear instead? Number 3, what helps my body feel safe? Is it touch? Is it the lighting? Is it music? Is it clothing? Or just words? Now, you can stop the podcast and address this in your journal right now or immediately after the podcast, but do not put it off. It's crucial for your self-love. In addition to doing it, I'm going to recommend that after you change the conversation and rewrite a new script, share with your partner if possible. Understand, shame shrinks us, but self-respect, it creates room for intimacy. And when you replace the critic with compassion, you make space to be held, not just by your partner, but by yourself. So now I want to introduce you to what is called the 5 daily body joy practices. Now, you treat this like a menu. It's not a checklist. Take 1 or 2 practices this week and notice how your body responds. Number 1, you can do a 60-second scan in the morning or before bedtime, and you close your eyes and you slowly scan from head to toes. You name one spot to thank and one spot to soften. Remember, tension, it's a request, it's not a flaw. And here's how that plays out. Simone notices tight shoulders before bed. She thanks them for carrying her through the day. And then she softens them with 3 breaths. Khalib, of course, notices that she seems to be calmer at night. Number 2, pleasure, a midday reset. Choose one of your senses at a time. Try a favorite scent, a song loop, sunlight on your face, or stroking a soft fabric, and pair it with slow breaths. What Khalib does, he takes 2 minutes at his desk to listen to a guitar riff he loves. So instead of scrolling, he lets the sound fill his chest. He calls it his reset button between work tasks. Number 3, move you for 3 to 5 minutes. Put on a song, sway, stretch, roll your shoulders. No choreography, just go with the flow. Simone, she calls hers dish dancing. While putting away plates, she sways to the music. And then, of course, Khalid from the side notices, laughs, joins in, and suddenly they're singing, which turns into connection. Number 4, your body, be kind. Put the right outfits on. Choose clothes your body says, in. Not what the tag or trend demands. Ask, can I breathe? Can I sit and hug comfortably in this? See, what Simone did is she swapped out a pair of jeans that dug into her waist for softer pants. She noticed she smiled more that day. Guess why? Because her body wasn't in silent protest. Number 5, warm touch ritual, whether it's for yourself or partner. You can rub your hands together, place them on your shoulders or your arms in slow circles. And if you're with a partner, share a 90-second hug. No agenda. Breathe together. Let your nervous systems sink. But this is what Khalib and Simone created. A nightly hug. Of course, at first, it seemed pretty awkward. But by night 3, Simone was saying, I didn't know how much my body needed this. Now, here's a tip called habit stack. Attach one of these to something you're already doing, like coffee, a commute, brushing teeth. While waiting for the morning coffee to brew, do a 60-second scan. On your drive home, practice 5 slow breaths with music that you actually enjoy. Reflection time. Which practice feels most doable this week? Where does your body already whisper that it wants kindness? And how might daily joy response ripple into how you show up with your partner? So since we have some body joy now, it's time for us to bridge self-love to marital intimacy. See, self-respect creates safety. Safety unlocks desire. Intimacy thrives where bodies feel welcomed, not judged. And if you're not doing this already, create a couples check-in, weekly, daily, for 10 minutes, whatever works for your relationship. So let's create an awareness. Question number 1, we want to talk about what helped your body feel good this week. Question number 2, what shuts you down? And question number 3, what would create the feel of connecting in the next 7 days? Is it a slow cuddle, a walk at sunset, a shower after the kids' bedtime? How about that old foot rub? Now here's the plan that Simone and Khalib adopted. Because Simone realized low lighting and slow music, it helps me relax. Khalib said affection in the form of physical or emotional closeness, whether it's a hug, a kiss, eye contact, short conversation, anything before picking up a phone, turning on the TV, or diving into social media. And this is what they came up with as an agreement. They came up with a 15-minute cuddle before TV, 2 weeknights, a gentle back rub on Saturdays. That sounds good to me already. I'm already relaxed. So I feel right here, since we've done this is a great place to remind ourselves of a previous podcast conversation where we talked about using language for invitations, not pressure. A couple of examples of what I'm talking about. Would you like to slow dance in the kitchen for one song? Awesome, huh? How about, I'd love a long hug. Can we try 90 seconds? And how's this one? Could we make the bedroom a phone-free zone after dying tonight? These examples, they would definitely create a better connection. So that brings us to another conversation that we've talked about, boundaries. In life, desire can be low during grief, illness, and burnout. And that's why we focus on kindness over performance. Because even with the best intentions, you'll hit resistance inside yourself, in your schedule, or in your relationship. So with that said, let's talk about how to troubleshoot the most common roadblocks. Let's say time is an issue. Here's the principle. Use micro moments, 60 to 120 seconds, because frequency, it beats duration. Simone says she's too busy for self-check-ins. So instead of a 20-minute ritual, she sets a 2-minute timer during her coffee prep. One hand on her chest and 4 slow breaths. And whispering at the same time, body, thank you for carrying me. Now I want you guys to understand, don't think that old negative self-talk is not going to return. That's normal. The critic doesn't disappear overnight. We're just being patient and having honest resets when it shows up with our breathing and one compassionate response. Simone, she catches herself saying, ugh, I look awful today. But instead of spiraling, she exhales. She puts her hand on her belly and instantly swaps and changes the script. This body, it lets me show up for the people I love. Notice, the key isn't perfection, it's the reset. For those of you that your partner is not on board yet, here's the principle. Be a good model. Invite your partner in. Don't insist. Share your why and ask for one small support. Well, Khalib, he shrugs at Simone's new body joy practices. But instead of nagging, Simone says, this hug before going on the phone or watching TV, it makes me feel loved. Would you give me 30 seconds tonight? Khalib agrees. It's a small buy-in, but it's a big impact. So now this leads us to a deeper dive. What if there's a history of shame or trauma? Because it's real. The principle is to go slower. And if you need professional support, please get it. Men also, and we've talked about that. It's your pace that's wise. See, because in Simone's past, physical touch, it feels unsafe at times. Instead of forcing her partner rituals, she starts with a self massage for her forearms each night. And over weeks, she feels safe enough to invite Khalib into a longer hug. That's a process. And while we're in this arena of thinking, let's tackle 3 red flags, some quick fixes. Number 1, if you notice that you're doing the breathing holding exercises all day, learn to set a top of the hour reminder. Exhale now. Even 3 long exhales resets tension. Number 2, if mirrors trigger you, press your feet into the floor, wrap yourself in a soft blanket, notice the rhythm of your breath before looking at your reflection. Number 3, if touch is hard, start with solo touch yourself, rubbing hands or forearms. And when you're ready, graduate to partner touch. You choose, like a 60-second hug or just holding hands during a walk. Understand, progress isn't about never hitting roadblocks. It's about noticing them, resetting, and choosing again. Tiny resets done consistently change the story your body and marriage tell together. So real quick, I want to take a moment and share with you what's called a guided body joy practice. And this takes about 3 minutes, and you can have soft music in the background if you choose to. I want you to gently close your eyes if you feel safe and do the exhale. The inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, and feel your feet, your ankles, your calves, your knees. Let the jaws unlock. Your forehead feel smooth. Place a hand where your body wants contact, whether it's the chest, the belly, or arm. And then quietly say, "Thank you for carrying me. I'm listening." Ask, what small kindness do you want tonight? And trust the first simple answer. It could just be water. It could be a stretch. It could be a warm shower, a soft lights, a hug, an inhale, an exhale. And then open your eyes. And practice this is soothing for the soul. And before we close, let's pull together what we've covered today. We started the shift from body acceptance to body joy, moving from I'm just okay in my body to I can feel alive and grateful in it. We learned how safety signals your breath, the warm touch, the simple rhythms, how this can rebuild connection, not only with your body, but with your partner. We saw how daily micro practices, tiny 1 to 2 minute rituals, they matter more than the long, perfect routines. Because see, consistency creates momentum. And we reminded ourselves that self-love isn't selfish. It's the foundation that fuels intimacy, trust, and passion in our marriage. And I want to leave you with 2 simple questions. If you're with your spouse, you might even share your answers with each other later on tonight, or you do it right now. Number 1, what's one small body kindness you'll practice today? Number 2, how will you invite your spouse into that gently without pressure? And most important, remember, your body is not a project to fix. It's a partner to listen to nurture, and celebrate. And when you learn to treat yourself with kindness, you naturally invite your spouse into a marriage that feels safer, more joyful, and more alive. Tonight, take one small body kind step and then tell your spouse what helped and invite a 90-second hug. That's it. Small, but real impactful. Now, if these exercises served you, I want you to share with your spouse and another couple who could use some body joy and connection. And then I want you to message me what practice you tried. I want you to celebrate your wins with you. Folks, family, I want to thank you for your time. We'll be back next week for another Self-Love Wednesday. Remember to visit the Simplified Uplifters Marriage Mastery Podcast Facebook page, which is where you're going to have the communication with me. And you can do that in a much easier, personal way and answer and tell me which way you went, as we talked about. And then for more exclusive training and deeper dives, our app and clothing apparel, we have placed all the information in the bio of the podcast. Or you can visit the website, which is simplifieduplifters.net. Family, if you found value in today's episode, we would appreciate you sharing this episode and the podcast itself with those that you know need to hear this message. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Simplified Uplifters Marriage Mastery Podcast. That way you don't miss our upcoming Marriage Builder Sunday, where we'll explore how taking these individual strategies, the strengths that we're gaining on Wednesdays, how they come together to create an unbreakable bond. And I want to thank you again for joining me on this Transformative Self-Love Wednesday. And until next time, nurture your soul. Protect your energy. Be kind to yourself and to build the marriage of your dreams. Most important, remember your power. You are extraordinary.